Many people feel a pull toward cryptocurrency mining. The idea of creating digital value from electricity and computation is fascinating. It seems like a modern-day gold rush, a chance to participate directly in a new financial system. Yet, for most, this initial excitement quickly meets a wall of fear. Two major worries stand out immediately. Technical intimidation. Rapid obsolescence. The first makes the entire process seem impossibly complex, like a secret language only experts can speak. The second paints a picture of expensive equipment turning into useless junk almost overnight. These are not the only fears holding people back. The shifting sands of government rules, the complexities of tax obligations add further layers of anxiety and uncertainty. This guide is designed to dismantle these walls of fear, brick by brick. What exactly is technical intimidation? It is the feeling of being overwhelmed by the specialized knowledge required. Mining involves hardware, software, networking, digital wallets. You must choose and assemble physical components like graphics cards, specialized computers. You must install and configure specific operating systems and driver software. Then, you need to connect to a mining pool, which is a group of miners working together. Finally, you must create a secure digital wallet to receive your earnings. For someone new to this world, this long list of tasks can feel like an insurmountable mountain. The fear of making a costly mistake or simply not knowing where to begin causes many potential miners to give up before they even start their journey. What is rapid obsolescence? This term describes how quickly mining hardware can lose its effectiveness and profitability. The world of cryptocurrency mining is intensely competitive. New computer chips, more powerful chips, more efficient chips are constantly being developed and released. At the same time, the difficulty of mining popular cryptocurrencies tends to increase over time as more miners join the network. This means that a piece of hardware that is highly profitable today might barely cover its electricity costs in 12 to 18 months. The fear here is a financial one. People worry about investing hundreds or thousands of dollars into equipment, only to see its value and earning potential evaporate before they have recouped their initial investment. This risk is very real and must be managed. Beyond the technical and financial hurdles, regulatory and tax-related fears loom large. The legal status of cryptocurrency and mining activities varies dramatically from one country to another, and even between different states or provinces. A new law or regulation can appear suddenly, potentially making a previously profitable operation illegal or uneconomical. This is regulatory uncertainty. Similarly, tax rules are often confusing and poorly defined for this new asset class. When you owe taxes, how to calculate taxes, what records to keep is a significant source of stress. The fear of accidentally breaking the law or facing a large unexpected tax bill is a powerful deterrent. This guide will provide simple, clear steps to navigate these challenges with confidence. The technical setup of a mining rig is often the first and highest barrier for a newcomer. It appears to be a complex puzzle with many moving parts, each requiring specialized knowledge. However, if you break the process down into a series of smaller, manageable steps, it becomes much less intimidating. Think of it not as building a supercomputer from scratch, but as assembling a specialized PC with a clear purpose. The goal is to get your hardware to solve mathematical problems and earn cryptocurrency rewards. Each step in this process has a learning curve, but none are impossible for a determined beginner. The key is to approach it methodically, one step at a time, rather than looking at the entire process at once and feeling overwhelmed by its scale. Let's outline the basic steps to get a mining rig operational. First, you must choose your hardware. This is typically either a graphics processing unit, GPU, which is the same kind of card used for video games, or an application-specific integrated circuit, ASIC, a machine built only for mining. Next, you assemble the hardware into a mining rig, which is essentially an open-air computer frame. Then, you install an operating system, like Windows, or a specialized mining OS like Hive OS. After the OS is running, you install the mining software that will control your hardware. With the software ready, you join a mining pool. A pool allows you to combine your computing power with others to earn smaller, more consistent rewards. Finally, you create a secure cryptocurrency wallet to store your earnings. Each of these steps can be learned through widely available resources. For example, when assembling the rig, you can follow countless video tutorials that show you exactly where each cable connects. When installing the operating system and mining software, you can use step-by-step written guides that walk you through every click. Joining a mining pool is often as simple as creating an account on a website and copying a server address into your mining software. Creating a wallet involves downloading an application and carefully writing down a secret recovery phrase. The internet is filled with forums, chat groups, and communities of miners who are often willing to help beginners troubleshoot common problems. The secret to overcoming technical fear is patience and a willingness to learn incrementally. Do not try to understand everything at once. Focus on the first step: choosing your hardware. Research the options, compare prices, and make a decision. Then, move to the next step: assembly. Watch a few videos, read a manual, and put the parts together carefully. By tackling each component of the setup as its own mini project, the overall task becomes much more achievable. Your first rig may not be perfect, but the hands-on experience you gain will be invaluable. This process transforms an intimidating technical challenge into a series of successful, confidence-building accomplishments that empower you to continue. Rapid obsolescence is a fundamental economic reality of mining. It means the hardware you buy today will inevitably become less profitable over time. This happens for two main reasons. First, manufacturers are constantly designing new chips, more powerful, higher hash rate, more energy efficient. When these new models hit the market, they raise the bar for everyone. Second, as more hashing power is added to a network, mining difficulty increases. That mechanism keeps block times stable. The result? Your hardware must work harder, or it earns less. Let's look at a concrete example to make this clear. Imagine you purchase a popular GPU for $800. At the time of purchase, after accounting for your electricity cost, a mining calculator estimates it will generate $4 in profit per day. Over the course of a year, you might expect to earn a significant return. However, 6 months later, a new generation of GPUs is released. These new cards are 50% more powerful for the same electricity. At the same time, the price of the cryptocurrency you are mining has dropped, and many new miners have joined the network, pushing the difficulty up by 30%. Now, your $800 GPU might only generate $1 in profit per day. A year after your purchase, it might not even be profitable to run at all. Electricity cost could exceed earnings. This is the sting of obsolescence. While you cannot stop obsolescence, you can take strategic steps to manage its financial impact. The first and most important rule is to start small. Do not invest your life savings into a massive mining farm from day one. Instead, consider buying a single, perhaps even used, GPU. This minimizes your financial risk while allowing you to learn the entire process, from setup to operation. Second, your electricity cost is a critical factor. If your power is cheap, your hardware will remain profitable for a longer period. Hardware with a high initial cost but excellent energy efficiency can be a better long-term investment than a cheaper but less efficient model. Another key strategy is to choose flexible hardware. GPUs are an excellent example of this. If GPU mining for a particular coin becomes unprofitable, the card still has value. You can switch it to mine a different coin, use it in a gaming computer, or sell it on the large and active second-hand market for PC components. ASICs, on the other hand, are highly specialized. If an ASIC becomes obsolete, it has little to no alternative use and becomes an expensive paperweight. By planning an exit strategy from the beginning, for example, deciding to sell your hardware after 18 months regardless of profitability, you can treat obsolescence as a predictable cost of business rather than an unexpected financial shock. Beyond the technical and economic challenges, miners must operate within a legal landscape that is often unclear and constantly changing. Governments and financial authorities around the world are still figuring out how to approach cryptocurrencies. Some countries have embraced crypto mining, offering tax incentives, offering clear legal frameworks. Others have taken a hostile stance, imposing outright bans, creating regulations so restrictive they make small-scale mining impractical. This lack of global consensus creates a fog of uncertainty. The inconsistency in rules creates significant risk. For example, in one country, mining might be treated as a legitimate data processing business. In a neighboring country, it could be viewed as an unregulated financial activity, or it may be subject to environmental regulations because of its energy use. A local government might change zoning laws to prohibit noise or prohibit heat in residential areas. National governments can impose capital controls that make it difficult to convert your mined cryptocurrency back into local fiat currency. These rules can change with little warning, driven by shifting political sentiments, economic concerns, or media narratives. a profitable mining operation can be rendered unviable overnight by a new piece of legislation. For a beginner, the most important step is to understand the rules in your specific location. Do not rely on general advice you read online that may not apply to your city, state, or country. Start by searching for official government publications or statements from your central bank or financial regulatory authority regarding cryptocurrency. Look for information on data centers, energy consumption regulations, and business licensing requirements that might apply. While this can seem daunting, it is a crucial step in due diligence. An hour of research upfront can save you from significant legal and financial trouble down the road. This is not about becoming a legal expert. It is about getting a basic sense of the current climate. Joining local communities or online communities of miners in your region can also be incredibly valuable. These groups often serve as an early warning system for upcoming regulatory changes. Experienced miners in your area will likely have already navigated some of these issues and can share practical advice on compliance. They might know which local energy tariffs are most favorable, or whether any specific business licenses are required. Remember, the goal is not to find legal loopholes, but to operate transparently and responsibly within the existing framework. By staying informed and connected, you can reduce the fear associated with regulatory uncertainty and make more confident decisions about your mining activities. Section 5. The taxman cometh clearing up. Crypto tax. Confusion. Tax confusion creates anxiety for new miners. Many think taxes only apply when you sell for fiat, but in many places, tax obligations start earlier. The IRS often treats newly mined coins as income. The moment you receive a mining reward can be a taxable event. You must determine fair market value at the time the coins were mined and report that value as income. This surprises beginners and creates heavy record-keeping. Example. You mine 0.01 units. On a day the price is $50,000, that equals $500 of income. You may owe income tax on that $500 even if you don't sell. If you later sell the coin at $60,000, you'd owe capital gains on the $100 increase. Conversely, if you sell for less, you might claim a capital loss. Track all mining-related expenses. They can reduce your tax bill. Electricity cost, hardware depreciation, pool fees. Keep all receipts and invoices and your monthly electricity bills. Start a detailed log from day one. Disciplined record-keeping is non-negotiable. Use a simple spreadsheet. Date coin mined. Amount received. Market value on that date. Also keep receipts for hardware purchases and electricity bills. These are proof for audits. Setting up a system now is far easier than reconstructing months of transactions later. Fortunately, crypto tax software can automate much of this work. Many apps connect to mining pools and wallet addresses to import transaction history. They fetch historical price data to value income at receipt, and they help generate the reports you need for tax filings. These services usually charge a subscription fee, but the peace of mind and time saved can be worth it as your operation grows. Using a tool like this turns tax compliance from fear into a manageable administrative task to transform fear into confidence. You need a clear action plan. This blueprint breaks down the solutions into simple, actionable steps for beginners. By following this structured approach, you can navigate the technical aspects, the financial aspects, and the legal aspects of mining methodically. This plan is not about guaranteeing profit. It is about establishing a process that minimizes risk and maximizes learning. The first area to address is the technical setup. This is where most people get stuck. So start with small, manageable wins to build momentum. These steps will guide you from having no hardware to running your first operational rig. Here are the technical steps to follow. First, commit to learning the basics before spending any money. Watch introductory videos. Read step-by-step guides on building a simple GPU rig. Second, purchase a single used but popular GPU. Third, use well-established, reputable mining software. Join reputable mining pools. Avoid obscure programs or new pools promising unrealistic returns. Fourth, join a beginner-friendly online forum or chat group. Do not be afraid to ask basic questions. Others have been where you are. Finally, learn to monitor your rig's temperature and performance. Keep a simple log to track stability. Next, you must have a plan to handle rapid obsolescence. This is about managing your financial risk. First, buy used hardware when possible to absorb steep depreciation. Second, calculate your electricity cost per kilowatt hour. Use an online mining calculator to test how sensitive profitability is to electricity cost. Third, Prioritize hardware that has a strong resale market, like GPUs. Avoid highly specialized ASICs unless you have a specific long-term plan. Fourth, resist the urge to constantly upgrade. Instead, create a plan to upgrade or sell on a set schedule. For example, every 18 to 24 months. Finally, you need simple steps to handle legal and tax uncertainties. For regulations, research the specific laws in your country and local municipality. Check official government websites for any mention of cryptocurrency. Join a local miners group to stay informed about regional developments. Build a flexible mining plan that does not rely on a single coin or strategy. For taxes, start your record keeping from day one. Create a spreadsheet to log every mining reward and every expense. Consider using a crypto tax software service to automate this process. Set aside a portion of your mined coins to cover potential tax liability. As you move from a beginner to a more experienced miner, you will face a strategic choice. Should you continue to run your own hardware at home, or should you use a hosted mining service? Home mining is the traditional approach where you own, operate, and maintain the equipment in your own space. You are responsible for the setup, electricity, cooling, noise, and any repairs. Hosted mining, also known as cloud mining colocation, is where you purchase or rent mining hardware that is operated for you by a specialized company in a large professional data center. You pay a fee for their service, which typically covers electricity maintenance and security. Each approach has distinct advantages and disadvantages. Home mining makes the most sense under specific circumstances. The single biggest factor is your electricity cost. If you have access to cheap residential power, running your own rig can be significantly more profitable than paying the marked-up electricity rates charged by hosting providers. Home mining is also the ideal path if you are interested in the technology itself. You will gain an immense amount of hands-on experience by tinkering with hardware, optimizing software, and troubleshooting problems. This gives you complete control over your equipment. You can switch which coin you mine at any time, or sell the hardware whenever you choose. It is the best option for hobbyists and learners. On the other hand, hosted mining is a compelling option for those facing different constraints. If you live in an area with high electricity costs, a hosting service located in a region with cheap industrial power can make an otherwise unprofitable venture viable. Hosting also completely removes the practical burdens of running hardware at home. You do not have to deal with the constant noise, the significant heat output that can make a room uncomfortable, or the technical work of maintaining the rigs. This makes it an attractive choice for investors who want exposure to mining without becoming hardware technicians. The hosting company guarantees uptime and handles all maintenance, providing a more passive, hands-off experience. Choosing between the two depends on your personal goals and situation. A simple way to decide is to perform a direct comparison. First, use an online mining calculator to estimate your potential profit, running a specific piece of hardware at home using your exact electricity rate. Next, get quotes from several reputable hosting providers for the same hardware. Compare their all-in costs, including service fees and their electricity rates. Think carefully about the non-financial factors as well, such as your tolerance for noise and your desire to learn. For many, a hybrid approach works best. Start small with a single rig at home to learn the ropes. If you find it profitable and wish to expand, you can then consider moving to a hosted service to scale up without turning your home into a data center. Looking ahead, the profitability of small-scale mining will continue to be a delicate balance of three key variables. The first is the price of the cryptocurrencies you are mining. A bull market can make even inefficient hardware profitable, while a bear market can wipe out margins for everyone. The second is the network difficulty. As more powerful hardware comes online and more miners join the network, difficulty will almost certainly continue its upward trend over the long term, putting constant pressure on earnings. The third, and often most controllable factor, is your operational cost, primarily the price you pay for electricity. The future for small miners depends on how these three forces interact. In the near future, we can expect the technological arms race to continue. More efficient chips will be developed, GPUs, ASICs. This will continue to drive the cycle of obsolescence, making it challenging for miners who are unable to regularly upgrade their equipment. This trend may favor large, well-capitalized mining operations that can purchase new hardware in bulk at a discount. This could make it increasingly difficult for a hobbyist miner with one or two machines to compete directly on pure profitability, especially on major networks like Bitcoin. However, the crypto ecosystem is vast, and opportunities may continue to emerge elsewhere. Despite these challenges, small miners can adapt to remain relevant and even profitable. The key is to be flexible and strategic. Instead of competing with industrial-scale farms on major networks, small miners can focus on newer, less established altcoins where the network difficulty is still low. This is often called speculative mining, where the goal is to accumulate a new coin in the hope that its value will increase significantly in the future. Furthermore, small miners can leverage their flexibility. They can quickly switch between different coins and algorithms based on daily profitability, a strategy that is harder for large farms to implement. The ability to adapt is the small miner's greatest advantage. The future may also see a rise in more accessible mining solutions. Hosted mining services will likely become more refined and competitive, offering more transparent and flexible plans for smaller investors. New mining protocols, consensus mechanisms that are designed to be more resistant to centralization and specialized hardware, could also emerge, creating new opportunities for participants with consumer-grade equipment. The role of the small miner might evolve from being a primary income source to being a way to acquire crypto assets at a discount, to support a network you believe in, or simply as an engaging and educational hobby. The future requires adaptability and a realistic view of the landscape. Cryptocurrency mining does not have to be a source of fear and anxiety. The journey begins by breaking down the walls of intimidation into manageable pieces. Technical fear can be overcome with patience and a step-by-step approach to learning. The economic risk of rapid obsolescence can be managed with a smart, small-scale entry strategy and flexible hardware choices. The fog of regulatory uncertainty can be navigated by staying informed about your local laws and connecting with your community. Finally, the confusion around taxes can be cleared away with disciplined record-keeping from the very first day, supported by modern software tools. The path forward is one of calm, deliberate action. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a process of work-learning, careful planning. Start with a small, manageable investment that you can afford to risk. Focus on learning the fundamentals of setting up and operating one machine before you even think about expanding. Keep meticulous records of your income and expenses, as this discipline will provide clarity and peace of mind. Whether you choose to mine at home to maximize your control and learning, or use a hosting service to minimize hassle, make the decision based on a clear-eyed assessment of your own costs and goals. The essence of mining without fear is perspective. View it as an educational journey or a hobby that might pay for itself, rather than a guaranteed source of high income. The landscape will constantly change. New technologies will emerge, regulations will evolve, market conditions will fluctuate. Your success will depend on your ability to adapt. Keep learning track. Your performance be prepared to change your strategy. By embracing a mindset of cautious curiosity and methodical planning, you can participate in this fascinating corner of the digital world, not with fear, but with confidence and a realistic sense of purpose. Mining is a tangible way to engage with the cryptocurrency revolution. It connects the abstract world of digital assets to the physical realities of hardware, heat, electricity. It offers a deeper understanding of how these networks function and a chance to play a role in securing them. By following the simple, practical steps outlined in this guide, you can strip away the layers of fear and intimidation that hold so many people back. You can begin your mining journey on solid ground, prepared for the challenges, ready to learn, adapt, and perhaps find a little profit along the way. Got value from this video? Smash that like button and subscribe to Crypto and Rigs so you don't miss the next one.